Good evening. I have the time as 7:30, so I will call the public hearing and regular business meeting of the Mayor and Council for the City of Snellville, Georgia, Monday, May 22nd, 2023 to order. We do have a quorum. All our members are present. We'll start with the invocation to be given by Catherine Hardrick.
Good evening. Let us pray. Lord God, thank you for having us here today. We give you all the glory and all the praise. We ask you that you bless the mayor and council and the leadership in Snellville so that they may have wisdom, love in their hearts, and that they may always seek you first when they make the decisions to govern over your flock. We thank you, Lord, for this congregation that we have here today filled with all these young people. May you continue to care and watch over them, Lord, and keep them safe, and make sure that they know that they are loved and they are valued and they are seen. Lord God, may we also keep a fire in our heart for our missing POWs or MIA, and may we always remember the fallen. We ask all these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Hardrick. And now we'll have the pledge to the flag, which will be led by the winner of the South Gwinnett High School Intermediate Beauty Pageant, Mila Stevens. You come forward.
Good evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. And now we have several items under ceremonial matters. First, we'll have a proclamation. We have a proclamation 2023-10, Poppy Proclamation. Whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by generations of veterans. And whereas millions who have answered the call to arms have died on the fields of battle. And whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who have died in war. And whereas the American Legion Auxiliary has pledged to remind America annually of this debt through the distribution of the memorial flower, the poppy. And whereas since World War I, the red poppy has been designated as the symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars, Congress passed in 2017 the Friday before Memorial Day as National Poppy Day. Therefore, I, Barbara Bender, Mayor of the City of Snellville, Georgia, where everybody is proud to be somebody, do hereby proclaim this 26th day of May 2023 as National Poppy Day and ask that all citizens pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy on this day. Proclaim this 22nd day of May 2023. And we have some friends, Cricket AG, and some others coming from that are here from the American Legion Auxiliary number 232 and the American Legion members from 232. I just want to say that this is a very hardworking group of people. They do an endless number of things to help support the American Legion, the VFW, and our veterans. So let's give them a big round of applause.
Ready? Smile big.
And now we'll have a presentation from the Run the Reagan people, Ron Weber, Kelly McAloon. Not sure.
We get Melvin Everson and Greg Bender and Kelly McAloon to come up. They're already here. Always way ahead of me. Don't say anything. Councilman Emanuel always tells me, brief, Weber, brief, be brief. Thank you very much. Okay, three of us are members of the Run the Reagan board. We're all trustees on that board. Run the Reagan, as you all know, besides being the big traffic hindrance that shuts down the parkway for a day and a half, we raise a lot of money, and that money goes to local charities. This year we completed our 26th Run the Reagan, and all told, we've given about $1.25 million to local charities over those years. We started out by our founder, Parks Mann, who incidentally passed away this year. Rest in peace, Parks. He was the founder, and he began this to raise money for the Gwinnett Clinic, which operated for, I don't know, some 20 years of that. And all the proceeds went to support medical needs of people that really couldn't afford it for themselves. Gwinnett Clinic went out of business, and I guess that was about 9 years ago. They took on the Southeast Gwinnett Co-op and the Lilburn Co-op and ran with that for a few years. 7 years ago, we were approached. I was approached. They needed fresh blood. They needed participation. So an opportunity was presented to the Brookwood Schools Foundation, get participation, and you can become members and benefit from this. Well, the first year we got very little, and the next year we got a little bit more, and the next year after that we became partners. But it's all through participation. 3 years ago, this young lady came to me and said, how does South get in on it? And I told her what I was told. It's participation. It's hard work. It's not given to anyone. And she took us up on it, and last year worked hard and got a little bit. And this year, she needs water. This year, it is my great pleasure, due to the work done by people like these guys, to present and I know I'll get it wrong, Greg, the South Gwinnett School Cluster Foundation? Cluster Foundation. From the Run the Reagan, through the work of people like this, I'd like to present you with $6,250.
Foundation, what we do.
Greg, sorry, speak into the microphone.
Would you like the microphone?
So it'll be on the recording.
Okay. So what the South Gwinnett Cluster Foundation is all about, it's a 501c3 nonprofit, and we have a board of people, Kelly, Melvin, myself, and 3 other folks. We raise funds within the community, and we give those funds back to educational purposes, primarily in the South Gwinnett school clusters. So it's South Gwinnett High and Britt and Snell and all the schools within the cluster system for educational, whether it's books or computers or whatever. So next year we want to encourage all of the people in the cluster and the schools to participate higher. This check will be bigger and we'll give more back to you. So thank you.
Greg, now part of the participation is through a company called Race Roster, where people register online, and you should have already received about $1,200 or so. This is a check for another 150 or so, 140 or something like that. Yay, Ray, that goes to the high school.
Okay.
Okay, and then for you, sir, the remaining $5,000
To the cluster.
to the cluster.
Don't get too excited.
And I'm very pleased that Brookwood and South can finally pair up and be partners in something. Yay! You guys may say something. You may say something if you like.
No. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity and the time. We've worked hard. Melvin and I have pounded the pavement to make this happen at South Gwinnett High School, and we just are elated that we are on the board and we plan to stay there. So, go South.
And anyone that would like to help support that effort, just see Kelly after the meeting or contact her later, and she can help plug you in on what needs to be done. And now we will move on to the minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of the May 8th, 2023 meetings.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Linsky. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none are opposed. We have under invited guests, we have Dr. Alexis Williams with South Gwinnett High School PTSO and also Mr. Derek A. Williams. They are, I think, president and vice president, and they are presenting tonight the Interme Beauty Pageant contestants and the Distinguished Gentleman contestants that I was honored to be a judge at their finale.
Mayor, Council, the great citizens of this great city of Snellville, we greet you with joy. My name is Mr. D.A. Williams, the proud president of the South Gwinnett High School Parent-Teacher Student Organization. It is said that a tool for holding water is a cup, and the key to accelerating the success of our youth is mentorship. And over several weeks, we had these mighty fine young people from South Gwinnett High School participate in a mentorship program that was points-based. They had to compete on various topics and learnings, and they accelerated on all of them, and we're going to hear from them in just a moment. But I do want to recognize these people that helped this program become a huge success: Mr. Melvin Everson, Dr. Bingham, Mrs. Barclay, Mrs. Cartmill, and Dr. Williams, and many, many others. And so, this young man with the red cape, Mr. John Mayoga, he's going to come and present to us a little bit more about who he is and what he experienced. Can we greet him with a great round of applause?
Good afternoon. My name is John Mayorga, and I'm a junior, and I just want to share some topics on the source of my inner confidence. As I reflect the confidence within me, I realize it can be traced back to the unwavering support of my family. Family, the cornerstone of our lives, has an incredible impact on the shaping of our personality, values, and self-esteem. It is their warmth of embrace, their encouragement of their power, encouragement of their words, and in the strength of their presence that I'm here today standing before you all. First and foremost, my family acts as a constant pillar of encouragement, and it is a reminder of all my strengths and abilities. From a young age, they have recognized and nurtured my talents, whether it is excelling in academics or pursuing creative endeavors, and it is the driving force behind my self-assurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John. That was our reigning king of 2023, Mr. Distinguished Gentleman. I have the great privilege as the creator of this program and as the director of the Inner Me Beauty portion of the scholarship program. This past Saturday, thanks to our Mayor, Barbara Bender, and a number of other judges, we were able to give out thousands of dollars of scholarships to some of our young people that you see here today. This is a representative. We had about 20 in total. And I have the privilege now of introducing our reigning 2023 Inner Me Miss Queen, Miss Mila Stevens.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Mila Stevens. I am a sophomore at South Gwinnett High School, and today I'm going to be sharing the source of my inner confidence. The source of my inner confidence comes from the Lord. He guides me to be confident in who I am. Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul to me. He is good to me and worthy. I trust in him because his love is unfailing and faithful. One thing I have learned is that we all have a purpose in this lifetime, and because of him, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My first year of entering the Inner Me Beauty pageant in 2022, I wanted to win a title and a crown because I thought it would make me feel good about myself externally and internally. But I've learned that inner beauty is not about what clothes you wear, how popular you are, or how everyone views you. It's about the love we spread to one another, how we forgive others, possessing good moral character, and most importantly, knowing and loving who you truly are on the inside out. God has led me in the Inner Me Beauty pageant to become altruistic and not as self-involved, focusing on the positive instead of the negative, boosting my self-confidence instead of insecurities. I've learned how to clap and applaud for others, and I've gained a deeper understanding of my true inner beauty. I hope to empower many other young people my age because, like I said, the Lord is my shepherd and he has restored my soul to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Distinguished Gentleman and Miss Inner Me Beauty Queen. I also would like to recognize our royal court, the representatives that are here today, and thank you, Council and Mayor, for everything that you do to continue to lead this community in excellence. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you all being here tonight, taking some time out of your busy schedules. I know you're at your last week of school, and I had so much fun. It was such a challenge to judge all of you and your talent and your oratory competition, and wow, just so impressive, so impressive. Okay, now we will move to our committee and department reports, and we'll start with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board update with Mr. Norman Carver.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, honorable members of council. I stand before you today as chair of the Snellville Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. In February 2023, our director, Lisa Platt, was informed that online software would be available by the end of April 2023. It actually began on April 4th, 2023. Got there early. This software allows the public to sign up for programs, reserve pavilions, and make payments online. It is now being used by the public and has improved our efficiency. New software is also being used at the Senior Center, and our members are gradually becoming adjusted to using it. It has streamlined our check-in process for members attending classes or events and has been a great help to our staff. We have added an adult flag football league to athletic programming this year. We have also added Ultimate Frisbee Summer Camp for kids, which will begin this June. This past winter, plumbing repairs had to be made throughout the park due to freeze damage. I can tell you that occurred all over the state. This past April, the board reviewed and voted on changes to the rental rates for our facilities. They are now consistent with rental rates in other nearby Gwinnett County parks. Our 2023 Family Fun Day event on April 22nd, 2023 was a success. We have had 5 vendor booths, which were 3 more than last year. All city departments were represented, including the Gwinnett Fire Department. Patrons attending exceeded by far the number of patrons for 2022. We are growing. This past Saturday, May 19th, we had our first pool party and it was from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This was prior to any other area pools opening for the season. Our 2023 season actually begins this Friday, May 26th. There are positive signs that we will see increased use of Briscoe Park this year. Hopefully, our streamlined online sign-up process will make it easier for potential customers to make reservations without having to come to the facility. And that's our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Item B, the Downtown Development Authority update has been postponed till the next meeting. Mr. Britt is not feeling well. So now we'll have an update from the Snellville Youth Commission with our mayor and vice mayor, Nargis and Winta.
Hello again. Good evening, esteemed members of the City Council. My name is Nargis Coco, and I'm the mayor of the Snellville Youth Commission.
And I'm Winta Memo, Vice Mayor of SYC. We're here today to speak on behalf of the Snellville Youth Commission for our final committee report of the semester, conveying our appreciation for your support and to share the impact that this opportunity has had on us and future generations.
We want to begin by expressing our sincere gratitude for your steadfast support of SYC. Your support has allowed us to grow and develop as young leaders in our community, motivating us to organize community service events, participate in crucial conversations, learn from guest speakers, and find our place in the wonderful city that Snellville is. This experience has been invaluable to each and every one of us, and we are truly grateful for your support.
Bear with us. We did do a lot this year, so this is a bit lengthy, but recapping this year, during our first meeting in August, we have prioritized team building and gaining comprehensive understanding of the foundation of Snellville. The Snellville Youth Commission organized a scavenger hunt, which involved visiting various locations within Snellville City Hall. This activity aimed to educate our youth of the history of Snellville, including significant moments, important figures, and the founding of the city itself. This allowed for us to foster a deeper appreciation for our community and the role it plays in shaping our surroundings.
For our second meeting, which took place on September 17th, centered around Snellville's vision for creating a sense of community and connection through a project called The Grove, which you may be familiar with. In November 2021, City Manager Butch Sanders gave us a chance to see The Grove in its initial stages. This year, he provided a more thorough tour of the site and explained the budget and expectations for the project. The tour allowed us to witness the progress of The Grove and envision how it will transform downtown Snellville into a vibrant hub of activity. The table talk discussion took place on Saturday, October 15th in this very room, and it was a significant meeting for the Snellville youth, acting as a testament to their potential and capabilities. The event aimed to address the gap in communication between the youth and officials from the city, county, and state. Our doors were open to speakers such as 2 Gwinnett County commissioners, state legislative representatives, and the GCPS board chair.
In 10-minute rotations, participants had the opportunity to express their sentiments on issues that directly affected them and gain perspective on the responsibility of addressing the needs of a diverse population. While eye-opening and enlightening were used to describe the event, they failed to capture the table talk's true significance. The youth's voice needed to be heard, and if anything was achieved during our table talks, it was amplifying the voices of the youth.
In November, SYC organized an event called One Stop Sweet Shop, which was a dessert tasting and civic engagement gallery walk. The event showcased significant figures who had transformed the world and were paired with sweet treats for viewers to grab on the go. The purpose of the event was to educate viewers about the historical impact of these figures and how they shape today's generation. In December, the Snellville Youth Commission had a meeting that included various games and activities, allowing members to connect and have fun while celebrating each other's accomplishments and reflecting on their semesters.
Proceeding to January, on MLK Day, the Snellville Youth Commission visited the Civil Rights Museum in Atlanta to gain a better understanding of the critical historical moments that have shaped our world today. We were able to explore the Morehouse College MLK collection, the Voice to the Voiceless Gallery, and global human rights art pieces. In addition, we had the unique opportunity to dine in at Pascal's, a restaurant that Dr. King himself often visited. This was very significant to SYC as it symbolized our commitment to honoring the past and incorporating it into our visions for the future. The visit to the Civil Rights Museum in Atlanta was an incredibly inspiring experience for all members of the Snellville Youth Commission.
All right, nearly there. In February, we hosted a Black History Month program called Let the People See the Black Resistance. This event started off with a community mixer with vendors, art from South Gwinnett students, and South Gwinnett's orchestra. It was then followed by a 5-minute featured screening of Till, accompanied by exclusive interviews with the relatives of Emmett Till, Wheeler Parker Jr., and SGHS's principal Dorothy P. Jarrett herself, and former GCPS student Mark Collins, who portrays Rev Parker in Till. These interviews were truly inspiring as they allowed for a diverse range of perspectives to be shared and discussed.
March and April themes were Money March and April Showers, and at the end of the year celebration in May, we also analyzed the recent Silicon Valley bank collapse, and in our April meeting, we created postcards to celebrate Centennial Snellville, a century of community. Given that this is our last report as mayor and vice mayor, we want to speak on the past few years in this organization and what they have meant to us. Being a part of SYC has been a life-changing experience. We have learned so much about civic engagement, leadership, and teamwork, and we've had the pleasure of meeting and working with younger people who are passionate about making a difference in our community.
In our final leadership lesson of the semester, we discussed what it means and the importance of having a purpose in life. My general purpose in life is to bridge the gap, and this organization has allowed me to bridge the gap in ways I never imagined possible. Overall, SYC has helped us grow and develop as individuals, and we are so excited to continue our journey of civic engagement after graduation. Just as it impacted us, we have no doubt that SYC will have a lasting impact on future generations. By providing young people with the opportunity to get involved in civic engagement, we are empowering them to make a positive impact on our community. We sincerely hope that future generations will continue to build on the work that we have done to make our community an even better place to live.
So to conclude, we want to thank the City Council for their unwavering support of the Snellville Youth Commission. We strongly believe that this organization will continue to motivate and enable young people to participate in civic activities and contribute positively to our community. We appreciate your support. Thank you.
Would all of SYC members please stand?
Ladies, come back, please, for a moment.
Don't worry, I'm back.
If I could just shower you a little bit more with some gifts.
Don't start crying.
Okay.
That you could have done with your time this year, but instead you used it on the city. You are true stakeholders in Snellville.
Should we take a picture? Oh.
Thank you so much for your dedication to this organization.
Good evening, esteemed council, mayor. It is a privilege, it's an honor to be here in your capacity, and thank you, Snellville Youth Commission. On behalf of the advisors of the Snellville Youth Commission, we would like to recognize our 13 seniors. We have been in operation almost 8 years, and this is the largest class that we have. And I can say probably some of the best and the brightest, if you will. You will see once we give them their honor tonight, where they're headed, and as they mentioned earlier, that they're going to pay it forward and come back and sow into the seed of those who are following. So without further ado, I would like to recognize Firdaus Abdul Wahab. She is headed to the University of Georgia. Next, Talani Adepe. Sorry. She is headed to Georgia Institute of Technology, also known as Georgia Tech. You guys came together, so I'm going to name you together. We have the twins, Hannah and Rachel Aribi. They're both headed to Louisiana State University, also known as LSU. We have Alex Brookins. He is headed to the Distinguished Air Force Academy. Jaden Hammer. She's headed to Howard University in Washington, D.C. Masiri Kibi. She is headed to Vanderbilt University on a full ride. We also have Dominique LeBlack. She is headed to the University of Chicago on a full ride. Amira Moody, headed to the Fort Valley State University. We have Mr. Hamilton Porter. Unfortunately, he's not here. He's traveling back. Oh, he's here? Hamilton made it. And he is headed to Augusta University. Okay. Yes. We have Sydney Robinson. She's headed to Howard University in Washington, D.C. as well. And as you guys met tonight already, our Vice Mayor Winter Mamo headed to Boston University. And Mayor Narcis Coco headed to Vanderbilt University on a full ride. Again, thank you, City of Snellville, for sowing a seed into our youth, and I'm sure they're going to pay it forward. Okay.
It's going to be an interesting shot. No, it's plugged in, I think. It'll work. All right, look over this way, folks. Ready? Check. 1, a 2, a 3. One more. I'm going to just see that. Thank you.
And while Natalie's passing that out, I would like to commend Councilmember Christy Linsky. Former Mayor Tom Witz and I heard about the Snellville Youth Commission that Chatham County down in Savannah had. And we properly, like every other good government, Art indeed it. We ripped it off and duplicated it. And Christy Linsky, when she got on the council, we turned to Christy to see if she could get this program going. And she has done an absolute phenomenal job with these students. So thank you, Christy.
Thank you. And if I could just take a quick moment to recognize our adult advisors who are absolutely amazing. Of course, the Snellville Youth Commission Coordinator, Natalie Brown-Van, who you already heard from. Reggie Peace, Shiloh High School. Charlene Fletcher. She's going to be coming to South Gwinnett High School next year. And who did I miss? Lisa Porter is in the back. And Miss Cassie, where are you? There she is. Okay, also, you're going to be at Shiloh Middle? No, Central Gwinnett. She's going somewhere teaching in Gwinnett County, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we'll move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented for the May 22nd, 2023 meeting.
There's a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. And now we'll move to our public hearing. We have 2 items under our public hearing, I believe. 3 items under our public hearing. The first is item A, provide citizens the opportunity to submit written and oral comments on the proposed operating budget of the City of Snellville for fiscal year 2023-2024. First, I'll turn it over to our Assistant City Manager, Matt Pepper.
Thank you, Mayor Bender, and you all can hold your applause till after I finish the presentation. I love the energy. I know I see a lot of new faces here, so I just want to go over kind of a couple basics about the budget process. This is an annual process that we do each year, and by law, we have to adopt a balanced budget. And what that means is that our revenues and our expenditures have to net to zero, have to equal. And our fiscal year runs from July 1 to June. July 1 to June 30. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over some of the highlights of the budget. We have posted the budget online on the city website, so if you want to, if you're having trouble sleeping, you can look at that at night, and it'll put you right to sleep, I promise. I'm going to try to make this as interesting as I can and as quickly as I can so we can get to the other business that we have tonight. So the budget for FY 2024, the proposed budget is $15,330,356,000. That's about 4% more than last year, and the majority of that increase is based on salary increases across the board for our staff. That was, as you recall, Mayor and Council, an item that we discussed at our retreat to improve our competitiveness and our retention. We commissioned a salary study, compensation salary study, to see kind of where we were competitive-wise with other municipalities in the area. And as part of that study, we proposed an increase in salaries to stay competitive here in the area. One thing that I'll also talk about is our property taxes. So the current budget, we've budgeted approximately $5.3 million to collect on property taxes. And what that will mean for our residents is that we're proposing to keep the millage rate the same, which is 4 mills. So we're not proposing a increase at all in your taxes. Now, you may see an increase in taxes, but that may be based on a reassessment that I'm sure we've all been experiencing the last few years from the county tax assessor's office. A lot of sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. A few other things I'll mention. So we will have a fund balance drawdown of about $330,000 for this year. The fund balance is essentially your net, what you carry over each year, that kind of helps keep your bank account solvent so that you can meet your bills and pay your bills. And then we'll also rely on some money from ARPA, about $600,000 carried over from $300,000 from this year and a little bit more from the next fiscal year to balance our budget. And I'm happy to answer any questions that we have.
Any questions of council for Mr. Pepper? Nope. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
So this is a public hearing, and we are offering citizens an opportunity. You can either submit written, either by email, or you could write it on a piece of paper and deliver it to me, or oral comment. So if you'd like to make a comment or question on the budget, then please come up to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record.
Kat Hardrick, hi everyone. I can't see, like, is that supposed to be something for us to do? Oh, I got you. Okay, I was just like, this is supposed to be numbers up there. But the question, you mentioned 600,000 of the.
Excuse me, Ms. Hardrick, I just need your address as well.
Oh, 2280 Buckley Trail. All right. You mentioned 600,000 of ARPA funds will be carried over for what purpose of the budget?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not question and answer. It's submit your comments, and then we can.
So that's my question. I believe Matthew just mentioned that you're going to have a carryover, and it was 330,000 and an additional 600,000 of ARPA money. So why is that?
Okay. We'll explain that to you after the public comment. Anyone else? See no one rushing for the microphone. I will close the public comment. Any discussion by mayor and council? Any comments? And just to clarify, the 600,000 in our original ARPA budget, we had proposed $300,000 for this the current fiscal year that we're in towards police salaries. And then we have 300,000 that we project that we had budgeted for this coming up budget, which is this one that we're working on. So that we didn't use the 300,000 in the current year budget, but we're using the 600,000 combined in this current year budget because we had to do such a large increase for the police budget this year. All right, so that will close our public hearing on the budget, and we will move to item B. Oh, I did just want to say that the final vote on the budget will be at our next meeting. And anytime in the next 2 weeks, if you have questions or comments, concerns, 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks for our next meeting. Feel free to email the council. The budget is posted on the website, and we would love to hear your comments. All right, now we have item B, second reading, SUP 23-01, consideration and recommendation on application by AG & Glass LLC, the applicant, and Zulu property owner for a special use permit to operate a glass repair and replacement shop doing business as Auto Glass Now under the vehicle repair minor use category of Article 6, Chapter 200 of the Snellville Unified Development Ordinance on the .449 plus or minus acre property zoned BG General Business District and located in the Town Center Overlay District at 2564 West Main Street, Snellville, Georgia, and that is tax parcel 5026082A. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. This one should be pretty simple. This is the once known Jiffy Lube up on the corner of 78 and 124, adjacent to, I believe there's a car dealership there and the old derelict Waffle House on the other side. Basically, because this use is considered a use that requires a special use permit, the applicant here is here to request said use for Auto Glass Now, which is an auto glass and replacement facility. They have plans to improve the aesthetics of the building and then install and calibrate some of the machinery inside and then open up as they roll out. I think there's several tens, if not hundreds of stores that are coming into the market. There are some existing code enforcement violations that'll need to be handled prior to, if approved, the opening of the establishment. We have included that in the conditions, and overall, we recommend approval.
Are there questions of council for Mr. Thompson? Is the applicant present? If you'd like to come up and give your presentation.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Chris. I'm a senior manager over construction for Autoglass now. So I've been overseeing this project from start to finish, and just looking forward to, getting it open and make it look a little bit better out there. So, yeah.
Chris, can you just give us your name and address for the record?
Yeah, my name is Christopher Cruz. I live at 11912 Old Concord Road in Rockwell, North Carolina, 28138.
Thank you. Any questions of council for Mr. Cruz?
Yeah, you're going to do auto glass only, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, we repair, replace, and calibrate windshields.
That it? Thank you, Mr. Cruz.
Thank you.
Now, this item is a public hearing, so we will open the floor to public comment. Anyone who would like to come and speak either for or against this SUP, please come forward.
Tricia Rollins, 2088 Harbor Oaks Drive. This to me is a good fit. I would hope that the company would keep it nice looking on that corridor, because we've got companies that have got tires piled up the back door. I don't think we need, glass and windshields piled up at the back door. So if they could keep it nice looking around there. And I think auto glass is a perfect fit for Snellville. It's hard to find somebody to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rollins. Anyone else? Seeing no other public comment, then I will close the floor to public comment and entertain a motion.
Motion to approve SUP 2301 with the following conditions. No outdoor storage, either vehicles or materials at any time. Property owner must provide interparcel access to all adjacent properties at such time that the adjacent properties are developed. At the same time as the first adjacent property is developed, the property owner must bring landscaping for the property up to the current downtown overlay standards.
Councilmember Emanuel, those were three conditions that were in addition to what was in the resolution. Did you mean to add those in addition?
Yes, those are additional to the original resolution.
Okay. Okay, so we have two conditions in the resolution, proposed resolution, and then the three that Mr. or Councilmember Emanuel just enumerated. So we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion to approve with a second. Mr. Cruz, are the additional conditions acceptable to the applicant? Okay, let the record show that the applicant agreed with the three additional conditions. So we have a motion and a second. Any comment by council? Nope. Then I will call for the vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor, so none are opposed. Welcome to the city. Now we have item C, first reading, UDO 23-02, consideration and action on amendments to the text of the Unified Development Ordinance, the UDO, for the City of Snellville, Georgia, to be consistent with the updated Zoning Procedures Act as passed by the Georgia General Assembly for the Administrative and Board of Appeals review of variances and waivers of the UDO as follows. Article 3, Administration of Chapter 100. Article 5, Special and Overlay Districts. Article 6, Use Provisions. And Article 7, Site Development of Chapter 200. And Article 1, Streets and Public Improvements of Chapter 400. Where'd Mr. Thompson go? Are you going to come and talk about this one? Yeah, if you could let just people know what we're doing.
Yeah,
on this so they can
just a
look
little
forward to.
quick summary. And within the city's codes, there was, there's several areas where administrative variances were allowed. Well, those administrative variances are now being basically legislated for policies and procedures by the state. So those state policies require the administrative variances to be handled much like a Board of Appeals variance with notice, letters, and an actual hearing, whereas before they were handled administratively under a set of basically guidelines or rules that you could approve those. So now, in an effort to comply with the law, which has to be done in July, we have changed the code to reflect that most of the administrative variances will now become Board of Appeals variances and will follow those protocols as far as signage, notification, hearing dates, and all the other regulatory arms that the Board of Appeals has too. So that's basically what the change is. Because the administrative variances were throughout the code, all those sections had to be changed. So there's 10 or 13 sections that had to be changed. So that's when you see the long list. But the summary is that we have to comply with the state, and basically everything has to go to the board now.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Yep.
This is a first hearing or a first reading, so we will not have public comment on this, but this will also be posted on the website. It's in the agenda package that's online as well if you would like to read all of this. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading of UDO 23-02 and place it on the June 12th meeting for a second reading and public hearing.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. That ends our public hearing portion of the meeting. So now we have one item under the consent agenda. It's item A, consideration and action on adoption of proposed amendments to the city's personnel rules and regulations needed to reflect changes in applicable federal and state law, as well as to align policy with the city charter. What we're doing on this, it's really a housekeeping measure. Some of our charter and code provisions when it came to personnel did not line up, and we needed to do some updates to the state regulations, and also just clean up some of the language in there. So we put it under the consent agenda. So all in favor? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
With a second, all in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. We have nothing under old business. Under new business, we have a first reading ordinance 2023-06, adoption of the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget for each fund of the city of Snellville, Georgia, appropriating the amount shown in each budget as expenditures, expenses, adopting the several items of revenue anticipations, and prohibiting expenditures or expenses from exceeding the actual funding available. All of those words just means the budget. So this is an item that we do 2 readings on. And again, this first reading, we just waive to the next meeting, and that will be on June 12th for the final adoption of the budget. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading of ordinance 2023-06 and place it on the June 12th agenda for the public meeting, comment, and second read.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. Again, the budget is online if anyone would like to review that and offer some comments, we would love to hear from you. Have item B, first reading ordinance 20-23. No, wait a minute. Let me say that again. Ordinance 2023-07, an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of Snellville, Georgia, Chapter 2, Article 4, Boards and Commissions, to repeal the conflicting Ordinance Division 5 on order to conform to the City of Snellville's status as an at-will employer as mandated by the city's charter. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive first reading of ordinance 2023-07 and place it on the agenda for the June 12th meeting for public hearing and second reading.
Well, it won't be a public hearing, but we'll have a second reading.
Second reading.
Is there, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. That ends our business for tonight's meeting. So we will move to council reports, and we'll start with Councilmember Solange Destang.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I just want to share with you really quickly. In our work session this evening, I propose to allocate $500,000 to help small businesses which are at risk due to the aftermath of COVID. Because a lot of the small businesses are suffering and are still suffering, whether it means that they don't have enough funds to hire extra workers or to pay for fees, rent fees that are in arrears. So I proposed, and so we are going to come back together next week, next work session, and see what mayor and council has decided concerning the allocation of the $500,000 for the small businesses. It's a yes vote for me, but of course we need to wait and see what happens at the next session. Also, I want to invite you all to come and celebrate Father's Day with us. I want to invite you all to the second annual Snellville Juneteenth celebration on the town green on Sunday, June 18 from 1 to 8 p.m. Our theme this year is honoring the past, celebrating the present, and building a better future together. We will have entertainment and fun all day. There will also be a children's zone, food trucks, and so much more. Please come and have fun with us, and also bring your lawn chairs. And on that note, I want to wish you all a very safe evening further. Get home safe, stay blessed until our next meeting. Take care and good night.
Thank you, Solange. Councilmember Linsky.
As we're closing out the school year, this has been a very emotional week for many of us, honoring our Snellville Youth Commission outstanding students. The places that they are going to go, and I hope they come back here, the important thing, come back here and sit in these chairs up front in the leadership role. Our principal at South Gwinnett High School, Dorothy Parker Jarrett, is retiring this year. Solange and I had the honor of presenting her with a proclamation to celebrate her career in education for over 30 years, as well as her retirement. So it leaves a void, but she leaves us with is profound. And this is also my last full week in the classroom. So ending a 30-year career, I'm going to be moving into a part-time position, I believe next year at South Gwinnett. Hopefully they'll have me. So semi-retired is, I guess, what my status is going to move to. Please come out on Saturday to the Veterans Memorial Day celebration at 4:30 and 6 p.m. I believe we have a concert going on. Opening act at 6. And 7 p.m. is Benny and the Jets goes on. And it's free, so that's a great price. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Christy. Councilmember Schultz.
I'd like to take this opportunity for us to thank Councilwoman Linsky for her work with the with the Snellville Youth Commission. She has proved to be a wonderful mentor to these students, and I think you saw an example of the mentorship tonight that she has offered to these students. I think we're all so proud of them, and congratulations, Christy, on a job very well done. And of course, I have to remind y'all that our first summer season farmers market is June 3rd. 8:30 to 12:30 will be on the town green now. We've been in the parking lot since October, so we'll be back on the green with almost every booth filled. It's going to be our biggest market ever. So we hope to see all of you there, and we're going to be very busy in the next couple weeks as we prepare for it. And I have one other thing I wanted to call your attention to that we learned about this week, and I think this is a very exciting development for Snellville. We've learned that Piedmont Eastside Hospital has now partnered with the Gwinnett Newton Rockdale Health Department to bring a mobile WIC bus to the North Campus. And they'll be holding a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, and the bus will be located at the North Campus every first and third Wednesday. And for those of you that aren't acquainted with the WIC program, it is a federal program that is designed to serve women, infants, and children. Their target population is low-income women that need additional nutrition resources. They serve pregnant women through pregnancy and up to 6 weeks after birth. They serve breastfeeding women up to the infant's first birthday, non-breastfeeding postpartum women up to 6 months after their child's birth, infants up to their first birthday. And I thought this was interesting. WIC serves 53% of all infants born in this country. So that's a huge population that they serve. And they serve children up to their 5th birthday. They provide supplemental nutritious foods. You probably see the WIC signs in the grocery stores indicating the foods that are eligible to be purchased through the WIC program. They offer nutrition education and counseling at all of their WIC clinics, and they offer screening and referral services to other health, welfare, and social services. So I think this is a very valuable program for us to have at Piedmont Eastside, and I'm very, very glad to know that it's coming here for our Snellville population. Thank you. That's all for tonight.
Thank you, Gretchen. Councilmember Emanuel.
Thank you. I've got a reputation for beating dead horses, so I don't want to let that slip away. But 8 years ago, when Christy Linsky began her involvement with the SYC, it was a fledgling program, and it has come leaps and bounds ahead. Christy's put a lot of work into it, and it involves a lot more than just one meeting now and then. She has to interface with the kids. She has to get adult mentors to become involved, and she's always spending a lot of time trying to make the SYC the best possible organization, and I think it shows. I think what we saw tonight was definite proof that her effort has been just unbelievably successful, and I'm going to ask for another round of applause because she's done such a great job. And that's all for tonight. Everybody have a safe drive home.
Thank you, Dave. Mayor Pro Tem Warner.
Thank you for remembering my name. I appreciate that. One of the biggest joys of this job has been getting a chance to interact with our Snellville Youth Commission on a number of occasions. And in the media, on Facebook, on Nextdoor, we constantly hear of all the problems of youth, and nothing will restore your hope in the future as fast as sitting in a room with those young people that you met tonight. They are absolutely astounding, and I can't wait for the day they replace every single one of us. And thank you, Ms. Linsky, for the amount of work that you put into it, and Natalie and the rest of they really put in a lot of hours and a lot of hard work, and they put their hearts into it. Last Wednesday, I had the opportunity to represent the city at the Gwinnett County Chairwoman's County Housing Conversation. And we're starting a long-term program about all the cities were represented, and the county, of course, coming together to look at what the issues of housing that we have here in Gwinnett County, what the deficiencies are, where we're strong, which we're really not strong anywhere. But the need is great, and by working together, the county and every single one of the cities, hopefully we can make all of our lives better by having a cohesive solution as we grow. Because the census projections are that Gwinnett County will add approximately 200,000 people over the next 10 years. I believe we had 15,000 new residents within the last year and a half. The growth is crazy. I know we all experience it. And whether we like it or not, it's going to be here. So we're all working together to try to make sure that the solutions going forward benefit everyone. And one of the great things that came out of the meeting was, if you attended our last meeting, my fellow council members and mayor, we adopted a disclosure that we're trying to get the Georgia Association of Realtors, did I say it right? To include that every time that a house is listed for sale. So when someone buys a property, whether they're an investor or whether they're a homeowner who will live in it, they will understand that there are some rules. You just can't add on to your house. You can't build right up to the side of the creek, a whole litany of things. I believe it's on our website now if you'd like to look at what it is. But that was a great opportunity for us to present that one small solution to every city in Gwinnett County and the county government at one time. It was very well received, and hopefully, because it will encompass all of Gwinnett County, it'll make it that much easier to get Georgia Association of Realtors to adopt it. So thank you very much for coming out tonight. Be safe. We'll see you back here in 3 weeks.
Thank you, Todd. And I would like to thank you for attending that meeting. He also attended another one on that the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for the federal government had attended at Congresswoman Lucy McBath's office several weeks ago, that was centered around housing here. And so Todd was able to represent the city at that meeting as well. So I appreciate you taking that time. We also had, there were, I think, 4 of us council members were able to attend, and then Butch and Matt Pepper and Jason Thompson, our planning director, we requested a meeting with our county commissioner, Jasper Watkins, and he had his planning commissioner and also one of his legal team there as well for the county, just to have a conversation about areas that we knew that developers were looking at inside of Snellville, and to get from them, what they know of growth and development, things that are popping up around us. Because I know Commissioner Watkins has been really awesome for us in the city, and also in southern Gwinnett, down towards south of Snellville. He's been a great advocate for the residents and the citizens there in really being careful about the types of developments that come in. And he's been a very big person to say no to a lot of developments too, that he didn't feel like brought it up to the Gwinnett standard. And so we appreciate all of his efforts on that front. And it was really a sharing meeting. We spent about an hour with them just to hear, let them know what we were planning and where our plans were, and how we're looking for growth and not looking for growth in different areas. And so it was a great listening session. It was a very good hour to attend. So I appreciate the council members and Butch and Matt and Jason for taking the time to do that. Also, at our last meeting, we neglected to mention, Todd, Mayor Pro Tem Warner and I attended the Gwinnett Tech ribbon cutting. They cut the ribbon on, what was it, a $54 million cybersecurity building that was built on the Gwinnett Tech campus. Just a beautiful building from the outside. We had to leave before we could actually take some tours inside, but Melvin promised he would take us back over there and give us a tour. But they also revamped some space in one of the other buildings as well, remodeled that. So kudos to Gwinnett Tech for all that they've done for Gwinnett. They continue to add programs that businesses that are locating here need the workforce. Gwinnett Tech will provide the program for that workforce. They're not just turning kids out with degrees that don't have anywhere to go. They are working for the employers here in Gwinnett and the surrounding areas to develop that workforce, and just amazing. We heard from one of the students there in the cybersecurity program as well. It was a really awesome morning. Also wanted to give a shout out again to Mr. D.A. Williams and Dr. Alexis Williams for their work with the Inter-Me Beauty Pageant and the Distinguished Gentleman program. It really, I wasn't involved in the program, but we heard about it at the finale. And the students, the contestants, were just phenomenal. I mean, it just takes your breath away to see their talent. And some of them have probably never been on a stage before in front of judges and a house full of people. But they did such a great job, and kudos to all of them that took part in that. And I'm sure that they learned some very valuable information. And then, again, a reminder, Councilmember Linsky brought this up, Memorial Day, before the concert starts at 6, we do have a Memorial Day celebration program event. It's from 4:30 to 5:30 before the music starts. It's right out in front of the Veterans Memorial. We try to keep it to about 45 minutes, but we invite you all to come out. We do have a keynote speaker to speak, and a couple other things that we'll do as well to honor our veterans. So come out for that little bit of time and offer your thanks to those who served in our armed forces. And that is it for my mayor's report. So I will open the floor to public comment. Anyone who would like to come forward may do so. Please provide your name and address for the record, and 5 minutes on one topic, please.
Kat Hardrick, 2280 Buckley Trail. I want to say, Councilwoman Linsky, take your flowers. When people applaud you, take your flowers. So can we give her another round of applause? Take your flowers. You know, we don't always get an opportunity. Take your flowers. So thank you for what you're doing with the young people. I'm very passionate about our young folks. And I'm back here talking about Gwinnett Chat Outreach. Unfortunately, earlier this month, a resident of Gwinnett County, a business owner, lost their 23-year-old son shot 4 times. It's still under investigation, so that's all I can say. But no parent should bury their child. And what I do know is we are greater than this, and our children deserve all of us to work together so that these types of things don't happen. I am glad to see all of those young people here tonight, because that gives me hope that we can continue to pour in all of the other children so that they get to go home to their parents. So I'm asking you with that, with Gwinnett Chat Outreach, that we continue to rally together. Our wonderful police chief said he's not going to dance, but he said that he definitely is open to talking to Ryan Cox, who also attended with Congresswoman Lucy McBeth, because he's very, very committed to doing the work necessary to help our children. And it takes a village. It takes all of us. I would love to see our young people out there volunteering at the farmers market and volunteering at Snellville Days and other events that we have, because we know they won't be in trouble. Everything that we say and do, they're listening to it. So I'm asking for the council again, support Gwinnett Chat Outreach. We're having a golf tournament, and Dave, you look like you play golf. Are you a golfer? June 5th at Bears Best, June 9th at Bears Best. June 9th at Bears Best, Gwinnett Chat Outreach. You can go to gwinnettchat.org, CHATT, and support our children. This is a nonprofit where we mentor young kids from 13 to 18 years of age. He actually has a young person at Gwinnett Tech, did not know what they wanted to be. Ryan Cox jumped in that car, took him to Gwinnett Tech, helped them get the evaluation and so forth, and paid a scholarship. Now that young person is going to college right now, who did not have that on their radar. And that's what we can do together as a community. So I thank you. I'll let my last 2 minutes go, but I hope to see you guys on the golf course, June 9th.
Thank you.
And the community.
Anyone else?
Trisha Rollins, guess you know my address. We still got speeders on Harbor Oaks Drive. We need to address this. We don't have a plan yet. The neighbors are dealing with this every day, 5:15 to 6:30, speeding. They passed me, tow truck passed me the other day. We need a plan, need to be talking. We're starting to see things happen around the Dogwood 124 intersection. I've got Mr. Wiggs, he's backed out on me, but he was going to address that. We are starting to see blue lights up there. We told the chief tonight that we appreciate that. It's such a difference to see cars being pulled over, just being visible. I don't care if they pull anybody over or not, just turn the blue lights on every once in a while. But we are starting to see a calming of things up there. The Snellville Pavilion, Chuck, thank you. Please hold them to the fire. We're starting to see things move around there. Cleaning up, less noise. We do appreciate that. It makes our lives a lot better when they obey by the ordinances. So if we'll stay on them, and we've got much more to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
We're going to make it till 9 o'clock.
You're not going to take us there because you only have 5 minutes.
Well, I just cannot walk around. My name is Barry Wiggs. I live at 2210 Stockton Walk Lane, Snellville, Georgia. 3 things. I need to break the rules, but I'm not commenting. I'm bragging. The first one is I've got to say I have no children, never have had children, and I am out on the streets a lot. So I get to see all the bad of the bad. And I've got to tell you, it is very refreshing to see the amount of young people we had here tonight representing the schools and representing our futures. That's very refreshing. The second thing is I do want to commend our chief. I know he never likes to be any attention, but we have seen that. We have seen a decrease in things that shouldn't be going on. The noise, the basses being too loud, the racing. Not really racing, they just over-rev their engines. And the weed control is a little better, I think. My comment would be that I saw an article about Officer Green where he helped an elderly gentleman that had some issues with his house. Is there a way that the city could work with a contractor that holds a city license and use funds depending on the criteria? There'd have to be criteria, but let's just say, like that gentleman, he had very limited funds. Is there a way that the city could contract with a contractor to come help those people out at no charge to them as a community outreach? I don't know if that's possible or not, but it's something to take into consideration. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wiggs. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor, so we are done. Thank you so much for coming out. Please be safe going home.